get this information out as quickly as you can to your friends and family. It looks like we have maybe a 2-week lead-up period to a major military confrontation between the United States of America, Colombia, and Venezuela. The recent alert to all American citizens in certain South American regions to get back home as soon as possible, combined with the buildup of military activity around Venezuela, shows us that something bigger is coming. Russia is currently engaging in another conflict inside of Ukraine, and we have China making some major moves across the Asian Pacific. It's time right now, more than ever, to get ready. We do have an economic crisis. They say that while everyone was distracted by things that were happening with Trump and what was happening across the world, on October 16th, just a few days ago, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York injected $9 billion, give or take, into the financial system through their repo operations. 80% of what money they injected was mortgage-backed securities. This is because the banks, according to economists, have run out of their cash flow. Now they're putting off or selling off their riskiest assets just to get some sort of liquidity in themselves. In a breakdown, the repo market is a virtual pawn shop for these banks that bring in valuable government bonds and mortgage-backed securities. The Federal Reserve gives them cash overnight. The next day, they repurchase their collateral. It's called a repurchase agreement. Now, we have this leading up to our last financial crisis. I think what's coming again.
Now, you've probably heard people talking recently about rare earth elements, but you might be wondering to yourself, well, what are they? How much of a big deal are they? And should we be worried about them? Well, over the course of the next few minutes, we're going to go through that. We'll start with that question of what are they, and do we actually kind of encounter them? Do you encounter them in your everyday? Do on their own? It's madness to create.
They're saying that phase 3 is here. Phase 1 was Russia and Ukraine. Phase 2 was the Middle East. And phase 3 was China. Tie up Russia in the north so they're unable to support the allies in the Middle East. Phase 2, pivot away from Russia, leaving Europe holding the bag. That's certainly something that has happened. Provide strategic support to Israel. Iran will retaliate. Phase 3 is going to be a Chinese pivot where naval support for all allies in the region boxes China in. The entire world is at war, according to economists and military strategists. Rebuilding the manufacturing base of the United States of America, just like they did in the World War II timeline, is what's happening right now. We're seeing reports of empty shelves as our supply chain continues to be strained by inflation and a lack of goods. U.S. consumers say that their prices are rising. Items that they've bought regularly are going up in price steadily. The grocery list is getting smaller. The budget's getting worse. Companies are expected to pay $1 trillion more in 2025 expenses than previously anticipated, but this burden is being moved on to you, the consumer. This is a report on how a Russian invasion of NATO might play out. On October 10th, they shut their border, as this is Estonia, I believe, as they saw Russian men with their Russian insignia across there. In the playout, Russia is going to take Ukraine. This will be a lead up to Russia's invasion of NATO or NATO territory. Then you're going to see new strikes on the eastern flank of NATO. At the same time, we're going to see a move between China and Taiwan. Uber is being used to train artificial intelligence. They're giving their drivers an option to make money by doing digital task work. They can data label. They can upload restaurant menus. They can record audio of themselves, or they can narrate scenarios in different languages. They are trying to train you or use you to train themselves. President Trump took out the Colombian president with a huge scathing message. He says the president of Colombia is an illegal drug dealer. He strongly encourages the production of drugs, big and small fields all over the country. It has become the largest business opportunity in Colombia, but he doesn't stop there. Trump says he also takes large-scale subsidies and payments from the USA to rip off the American people. As of today, according to the US president, this was yesterday, the payments or any other form of payment or subsidies will no longer be made to Colombia. Will no longer be made to Colombia. China is accusing America of hacking time. The spy hunters inside of China claim that the National Security Agency snuck into the Time Service Center. That's what they rely on for their digital time, their GPS, everything. We might see a comms grid collapse because of it. Banking operations will be under threat. Crypto wallets targeted. The U.S. is trying to not claim direct evidence of it doing this, but it looks like they did. A ceasefire that was in Gaza looks to be no more. We saw a huge airstrike or a series of airstrikes by Israelis. This is after Trump warned Hamas, do not go in there like you're planning to. You see, they're in their comms. They know exactly what they're doing and what they're about to do. This is a robot driver that's going to be delivering your goods, no longer needing humans.
I gotta do it. I gotta. Husband's a robotics guy, so he's.
More video of that Israeli attack. Here's the BlackRock CEO laying out the plan for everything digital. Now, let me go ahead and read some of this to you because there was some music in the background. It says the head of BlackRock put out a prediction that's a blueprint for what's going to happen. BlackRock is going to bundle every single thing as a token. Now, this guy warns that what you think is a slow trading platform, for these billionaires, it's actually a quick-moving entire financial life that's being tokenized. When you think about it, your job application, your rental application, vouchers, they're all being funneled into digital government gateways. This is not accidental, he warns. It was a testing ground. They are training people around the world to accept a tokenized world. Now, what they're going to do is they are going to make your mortgage a token. These mortgages will be traded back and forth between banks, just like they trade Bitcoin. Poland, in a major move to bring more humans onto Earth to fight the wars for the elite before the AI can do it for them. Poland is exempting all parents that have 2 or more children from paying income tax. If this happened in the United States of America, we would see a huge boom in citizenship. Just a couple of years ago, Microsoft tested running their artificial intelligence data centers underwater. They found huge success because the amount of heat that is put off by these data centers is absolutely enormous, and the electricity is often used to pump in water to cool them. They stopped this, or reportedly stopped it, because eco-friendly freaks worried that they would be, we've got underwater volcanoes, we've got underwater methane, we've got underwater everything. Lava pours off volcanoes into the ocean, but they were afraid that these buildings would, or they complained, that they would throw off too much heat, maybe make a starfish sweat. So they stopped doing it, but I don't believe that they have. I believe that Microsoft is right now engaging in something different.
Trump is officially 3-0 with China. Here's what nobody's talking about. China had a heavy investment in Iran. Trump neutered them. China had a heavy investment in Gaza. Trump secured a regional firewall. China straightforwardly controlled Venezuela for 2 decades. Trump's moving in and China's blinking for a third time. And that's why everyone is asking the wrong questions when it comes to Venezuela. The cover story is this. Trump's military, but analysts, Venezuela affected 10,000 U.S. troops and 8 warships in the region. We have helicopters and Reaper drones taking out narco boats. We have F-35s, and Venezuela has scrambled their jets. And this week, Trump has authorized the CIA to carry out lethal operations in Venezuela. We'll dive into that one a little deeper in the next segment.
Now, these operations that are about to take place between Colombia, Venezuela, and the United States of America, this is going to cause a massive oil and gas crisis that, until it's over and the dust settles, is going to be bad for us as Americans. I believe that it's a good time right now to put away 10, 20, 30 gallons of gas if you're able to. You can buy 5-gallon jerry cans, you can buy 5-gallon plastic containers, you can put some gas saver inside of it that's going to make it so that it doesn't break down and deteriorate as quickly. You're going to need these things on hand because at one point in time in the near future, you won't be able to get fuel at the fuel depot. You're going to have to consider how you will get from your location, whether that's work or home, to an evacuation point if you can't get gas in between. You're watching Full Spectrum Survival. This is YouTube's original prepper news channel. We've got lots more information coming out at 2 p.m. this afternoon. Please make sure that you are subscribed and hit the hype button if you see it down there below. Share this video on Facebook, on X.com, anywhere that you think people need to see it. From my family to yours, stay safe.